Welcome back to the Coins Information HD channel, where we explore the fascinating world of rare coins, hidden collectibles, and treasures that might be sitting unnoticed in your pocket change. In today's episode, we're diving deep into one of the most talked about modern American pennies, the 1984 Lincoln Memorial cent with no mint mark. Now, at first glance, the 1984 penny seems like one of the most ordinary coins ever created. Billions of them were minted, millions still circulate, and countless others sit forgotten in jars, drawers, and piggy banks across America. But as with many coins in numismatic history, the ordinary can sometimes hide the extraordinary. And the 1984 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is a perfect example of how a coin worth only 1 cent can, in certain conditions, be worth a small fortune. In this video, we'll walk through the full story. The history behind the coin. Why most are common but a select few are rare. The unique varieties and errors that can make one worth hundreds or even thousands. And what collectors in the year 2025 are paying for the finest known examples. So sit back, relax, and prepare to learn everything you need to know about the 1984 no-mint mark penny. To understand the value of the 1984 penny, we must first understand its origin. The Lincoln Memorial penny was introduced in 1959 to honor the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Frank Gasparo, the reverse featured the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., replacing the earlier wheat ears design that had been used since 1909. By the time 1984 rolled around, the Lincoln Memorial cent was well established in American currency. But something major had changed only 2 years earlier. In 1982, the composition of the penny shifted from a predominantly copper coin to a copper-plated zinc coin. This new coin was made with a zinc core coated in a very thin layer of copper. Although visually identical to earlier cents, the zinc core made the coin lighter, cheaper to produce, and more prone to certain types of damage and minting flaws. In 1984, the United States Mint produced billions of pennies. The Philadelphia Mint, which used no mint mark, was responsible for an enormous share of the year's production. With so many minted, these coins became some of the most common 1-cent pieces in circulation. This makes it even more impressive that certain rare survivors from this year have become highly sought after by collectors. Because the Philadelphia Mint produced billions of pennies in 1984, the overwhelming majority of these coins hold no premium above their face value. If you find one in circulation today, it will likely be brown, worn down, and show years of handling. Most 1984 pennies were used heavily, meaning microscopic details wore away long ago. And because the copper plating on zinc pennies is extremely thin, many develop surface issues such as corrosion or bubbling, making high-quality survivors even rarer. So, for everyday circulated examples, the value usually remains strictly 1 cent. This is the baseline. But now we enter the far more exciting part of the story, the small percentage of 1984 pennies that can be worth far more. There are 3 major factors that determine whether a 1984 no-mint mark penny is valuable. First, condition. Second, color designation. Third, the presence of rare minting errors or varieties. The highest value 1984 pennies are the ones that have never circulated. These are known in the hobby as mint state coins. A mint state coin can range from MS60, which is uncirculated but not particularly attractive, all the way up to MS70, a theoretically perfect coin showing no imperfections even under magnification. The higher the grade, the rarer the coin becomes. It may shock some people to learn that even though billions of 1984 pennies were minted, extremely high-grade examples are incredibly rare. That's because these coins were mass-produced and stored in huge bags or bins, where they could easily get small marks or scratches before ever leaving the mint. As a result, finding one that survives in pristine condition is statistically unlikely. Color designation. Uncirculated copper-plated zinc pennies are classified by color. These colors matter greatly for value and are graded as red, red-brown, or brown. Red is the brightest and most desirable. It signifies the coin still retains its original mint luster. Red examples are the most difficult to find in high grades and bring the highest prices at auction. Errors and varieties. This is where things truly get interesting. Certain 1984 pennies contain rare minting anomalies. the most famous being the doubled ear variety. The doubled ear penny displays clear doubling on or around Lincoln's earlobe. The doubling is crisp and easily visible, and collectors prize this variety highly. Other errors found on 1984 pennies include die cracks, die clashes, off-center strikes, and plating errors resulting from the fragile copper layer failing to bond smoothly with the zinc core. While many of these errors bring only modest premiums, the most dramatic examples can command significant prices. Let's now talk about what the highest quality 1984 no mint mark pennies are actually worth in the modern market. At the lower end of mint state, grades like MS60 to MS63 generally sell for modest premiums. These coins might bring in anywhere from a few cents to a couple of dollars. They are attractive and uncirculated, but not rare. As we move higher into MS64 and MS65, the value begins to rise more noticeably. Coins in these grades start demonstrating better luster, fewer marks, and stronger visual appeal. These may be worth anywhere from a few dollars up to around $10, depending on the exact look of the coin. The true jump in value occurs when you reach MS66 and above. Here, the population thins dramatically. Very few coins from this year survive with the kind of nearly flawless surfaces required for these elite grades. These coins command strong premiums, sometimes reaching into double or even low triple digits. Above that, in grades like MS67 and MS68, the value can rise substantially. These coins are showpieces. They are the kind of coins collectors compete fiercely for. The brightest, cleanest, most visually striking examples can move for hundreds or, in exceptional cases, thousands of dollars. The rarest finds occasionally include coins graded MS69, which are almost unheard of for this year. When they do appear, they can sell for several $1,000s to serious collectors seeking the best available examples. One of the most important varieties from this year is the doubled ear penny. This variety is visually striking and easy to identify without specialized equipment. When examining the coin, you'll look for extra thickness or a repeated outline around Lincoln's ear. The doubling appears as a distinct extra earlobe. This occurred due to issues during the die creation process, where the hub impression was misaligned. Collectors love this variety because it is one of the clearest examples of a doubled die in the entire Lincoln Memorial Cent series. High-grade versions of the doubled ear variety can sell for large sums, especially when found in full red uncirculated condition. Even circulated doubled ear pennies can carry a meaningful premium, making this one of the most accessible valuable finds in pocket change, beyond the well-known doubled ear. There are other unusual errors from 1984 that can transform an ordinary penny into a valuable collectible. Some of these errors include coin strikes that are off-center, where part of the design is missing, die cracks that create raised, vein-like lines across the surface, blockage errors where one side of the coin bears a mirrored impression of the opposite side, plating blisters caused by the copper coating separating from the zinc core, multiple strike errors where the coin was struck more than once. While many of these bring moderate premiums, extreme or dramatic errors can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on their severity, rarity, and eye appeal. Now we come to one of the most important parts of this video: the current value and demand for the 1984 penny in the year 2025. The collector market in 2025 remains strong, especially for modern high-grade coins. More collectors are now seeking the highest quality examples from common dates, recognizing that condition rarity can exist even among billions of coins. For 1984 pennies, the typical circulated example has no value beyond 1 cent. Uncirculated mid-grade pieces remain affordable and popular with beginners, but the top-tier examples are seeing continued demand. Beautiful red coins in MS66, MS67, or MS68 continue drawing attention from advanced collectors building registry sets. These coins remain scarce, and their value reflects that scarcity. The doubled ear penny remains one of the most desirable modern varieties, and demand for high-grade examples stays strong. As of 2025, the most elite examples of the 1984 no-mint mark penny can still bring thousands. As more coins become graded and populations stabilize, collectors increasingly recognize the difficulty of finding pristine survivors. And because aging zinc pennies are prone to deterioration, the number of remaining high-end specimens will likely continue shrinking, supporting long-term value. If you want to check your own 1984 pennies, here's what to look for. Examine the color. Bright red examples are significantly more desirable. Look for original mint luster. The coin should appear shiny and reflective, not dull. Check Lincoln's ear carefully for signs of doubling. Use magnification to look for any unusual errors, die cracks, or misaligned strikes. Inspect the fields, which are the flat open background areas of the coin. The fewer marks or scratches, the better. Avoid cleaning the coin. Cleaning destroys value. If you believe you have an exceptional example, consider sending it to a professional grading service to preserve and verify its condition. The 1984 no mint mark Lincoln penny remains an intriguing coin for collectors. Most examples are common and worth only a cent, but a small fraction have become prized collectibles worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Whether it's an extremely high-grade survivor, a dramatic mint error, or the famous doubled ear variety, this coin proves that history, rarity, and condition can turn the simplest piece of change into something extraordinary. If you enjoyed this deep dive exploration of the 1984 penny, be sure to like the video, subscribe for more numismatic content, and share your own finds in the comments below. You never know what treasures you might discover, even in coins you've seen 1,000 times before. Thank you for watching, and happy collecting!